are off and we are ready to start. Thanks so much. We are ready to start. Thanks so much.
Good morning, Ms. Hassan.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, Commissioners. The witness for today is Lieutenant General Sonona.
May I please be please place the appearances on the record. I think it must be taken as done already in respect of Ms.
Good morning,
Hassan.
Chair. Good morning, Commissioners. The witness for today may I, on my side, acknowledge Mr. Sikakane, who is my learned friend. Thanks.
Yes. You're a junior for today who's appearing for the first time.
Yes.
Thank you and welcome. Don't you, for purposes of the mic, or even there, actually, there's a mic there, yes.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioners. My name is Balasa Mafisa, and I'm making
what?
Balasa Mafisa.
Mafisa.
Yes.
Thank you.
And I make an appearance with Rudolph Baloyi, my instructing attorney, and Dumi Mushwana. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Ms. Mafisa. Yes, Ms. Hassan.
Thank you, Chair. So our witness for today is Lieutenant General Sonona. He is in attendance, but I believe that his counsel wishes to address the Commission before we begin. May I ask that she be granted permission?
I'd like to, please.
Yes.
Yes, Ms. Mafisa.
Thank you, Commissioners. Commissioners, firstly, we'd like to state that the court order that was handed down, not the court order, but the Commission's order that was handed down on the 26th of November last year, stated that we ought to appear on the 27th of January. It seems as if the Commission might require more time with Major General Sonona. However, we were only informed today that more time would be required with Major General Sonona. On Sunday, in passing, it was mentioned by the Commissioner's attorneys that Major General Sonona would need to be here on the 27th and on the 28th. However, on the 26th, I must mention that I'm led in this matter. So on the 26th of November, the last appearance, my senior and one of the evidence leaders decided that it would be best if we hold today's hearing on the 27th of January. But that was the only date that was agreed upon. We did not agree upon the 28th of January. Unfortunately, Major General Sonona has only made arrangements with his employer to be here for the 27th of January. If he is to continue, or rather if his testimony is to continue for the 28th of January, he would require special leave. And I'm not sure if he'd be able to do so on such short notice. He also needs to travel back after giving his testimony. So there are many things at play here, Commissioners, and I do not see how Major General Sonona will be able to continue with his testimony on the 28th.
Not if, yes, Ms. Hassan.
Sorry, Chair, may I respond to the request? Just to say two things. The ruling of this commission in November was for the Major General to appear on the 27th of January. Section 6.1 of the Commission's Act makes it a requirement that a witness that is summoned to appear attends on the date of appearance and remains in attendance until excused by the chairperson. There is no requirement to alert a witness as to how long he or she may be on the stand. In fact, the Commissions Act makes it an offence to not remain in attendance without sufficient cause. The reasons that I hear my learned friend offering for not being able to be in attendance tomorrow, in my view, and I submit, do not count as sufficient cause. One of the Major General's duties is to testify before this commission. That is what he's here to do, and to do so fully and frankly, and to do so in order to assist the work of the commission. And so I oppose the request that the Major General is excused after 1 day.
Thank you, Ms. Hassim. Do you wish to respond to that, Ms. Mafisa?
Yes, I do, Commissioners.
Yes.
Commissioners, I do think it's only fair from the Commission side. I do understand the subpoena states that the Major General is expected to be present to give his testimony from the 27th until the testimony is complete, but I do think it's only fair that the Commission actually give some sort of an indication as to how many days the testimony, they foresee the testimony taking. Major General Sonona was present on the 26th of November. He is present today, so he has met the subpoena. He satisfied the subpoena. His presence is here. I do not see the risk or the danger to merely cut his testimony into two parts. We have seen with many other witnesses where the testimony is cut into two parts, and we can confirm that Major General Sonona is more than willing to come back to the Commission to continue with his testimony. I do think the aspect of him receiving an extension of his leave should also be considered by the Commissioners, because if he were to continue on the 28th of January, we would be placing Major General Sonona in a position of being derelict of his duties.
What's crucial in what you said, Ms. Mafisa, is that you are aware that the General is supposed to be here today and beyond for as long as he's required to be here to continue with his testimony. That's very important. The General is obviously also aware of that. It was his choice to make leave arrangements just for 1 day. He could, and I've not heard you suggest otherwise, he could have made those arrangements to go beyond today. Why he chose to do it differently, I have no idea, and you have not explained to us why that is so. I will not be doing it back and forth. I'm now at the stage where we as this commission must make a ruling, and our ruling is going to be in accordance with what the Commissions Act provides, and also in accordance with our direction for the General's appearance. And he's required to be here until his testimony has been completed. What he does with his leave arrangements is his business, and he will have to attend to that. So the ruling is, General, you are required to be here today and tomorrow. And if tomorrow, for whatever reason, we reach a point at which we must continue beyond tomorrow, you are required to be here beyond tomorrow as well. Do you understand that?
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Understand.
I was still going to greet you properly, and I normally greet witnesses just before I administer the oath. Things started differently today, so I apologize for that. Good morning to you too. Thank you. You do understand, you say?
I do understand, Commissioners.
Thank you very much, General. Thank you, Ms. Mafisa.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. If we could then proceed to administer the oath.
General, will you be swearing or affirming?
I'll be swearing, Commissioners.
Do you swear that the evidence you are going to give is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? If so, please raise your right hand and say, "So help me God."
So help me God.
Thank you, General.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Major General. You've provided a statement to the Commission, together with annexures to support your statement. Can I just confirm that in file 1, that you have file 1 in front of you, that's marked statement?
Correct, Commissioners.
And can you turn to the last page of the statement, in fact, page 33 to be precise? Is that your signature?
Correct, Commissioners.
And you confirm that the contents of the statement are true and correct?
Correct, Commissioners.
And file 2 is the annexures that you've provided, is that correct?
Correct, Commissioners.
And can I just confirm that you have certain additional files in front of you? There should be 3 exhibit files. Do you have 3 exhibit files?
I do have 3 exhibit files that I just received, Commissioners. Thank you.
Thank you. Chair, I propose that I allow Major General Sonona to provide his version as he has, his oral version based on his written statement in full, with minimal interruption from me. Of course, there will be questions for clarification and so on as you provide your version from myself and from the commissioners. But Major General, I'd like to give you an opportunity to give us your full version before questioning begins. Thank you. You may begin with your statement.
Thank you very much, Commissioners. My statement on the first page, it will talk to the contents of my statement. There will be an introduction. The second one, it will be matters to be addressed. The third one, qualifications and service history. Functions of the DPCI is an abbreviation in full, is Directorate for Priority Crime Investigations. Role as a provincial head, as well as successes that we decided to depict for the purpose of this commission. You see number 7 is the role as the provincial head of DPCI KZN, as well as those successes, the subpoena, preliminary submissions, question 1 on the subpoena infiltration, question 2, nature of relationship with Mr. Matlala, question 3, forwarding of disbarment letter, question 4, business relationship with Mr. Matlala, question 5, Medicare tender/contract, question 6, message of 6 March 2025, in brackets I put Lieutenant General Mkwanazi. Question 7, forward of Ismail Molido Ramos Nangi's affidavit. Question 8, 24 April 2024, screenshot to Mr. Matlala. Number 9, question 9 is contact details of the former Minister Peggy Cele. And number 10 is Port Shepstone cocaine theft. The last one, it will be the conclusion, Commissioners.
Thank you, Major General. So if you could begin then at paragraph 6 of your statement.
Thank you very much, Commissioners. I began my years within the South African Police Services on the 18th of March 1988. I hold the following qualifications: a certificate in criminal justice education from the University of Virginia in the United States of America, a certificate on FBI National Academic Course of Instruction, a National Diploma in Police Administration from Technicon SA, a BTech Honours in Policing from Pretoria Technicon, a Doctorate of Philosophy in Leadership honoris causa from Trinity International Bible University, as well as a Doctorate in Theology honoris causa from the Good Shepherd College of Religion.
Major General, just before you move on, just to clarify, the two doctorates, are those, you list them as qualifications, are those doctorates for which you defended, or are those honorary doctorates that were conferred on you?
I've just indicated, Commissioners, honoris causa. Thank you, Commissioners. Can I proceed?
Well, I suppose not everybody knows what honoris causa is. That's why the question in general would be helpful.
Thank you very much, Commissioner.
So they are honorary.
It's an honorary doctorate.
Honorary, so it's an honor that was conferred, not a doctorate for which
Absolutely.
you studied. Yes.
Perhaps for the future, if you have them listed like this, even in your CV, please do not list them under qualifications. List them separately.
I've taken note, Commissioner.
Thank you, thank you.
My service history in the South African Police Services. I joined in March 1988. I was placed in the Vera Brecht SAPS, where I was a student, as a student there. And then in the month of June, we were deployed at the college in Hammanskraal until December, where I attended my basic training and I completed it in December. After completion, I was placed back at SAPS Vera Brecht. In January 1999, I was placed as a student constable detective at the same police station where I was responsible for investigations of crime. 1990, I was promoted to the rank of Lance Sergeant after I wrote the necessary, it is called examinations in order for one to be placed in that rank. So in 1992, I was promoted to the rank of a detective sergeant after I've completed my first year of study at the university, at the Technicon SA,
What's the difference between a lance sergeant and a sergeant?
The difference, Commissioners, is that a lance sergeant is a junior to the sergeant.
Okay.
Even the rank insignia are different. The lance sergeant has got chevrons, and the sergeant has got chevrons and a castle.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners. In 1994, I was promoted to the rank of a warrant officer. My duties from 1994 that I've performed as a detective investigator and team leader, I was placed at an area commissioner's office by then in Pretoria. My responsibilities was to track wanted suspects in the region. From 1998 to 2002, I was placed at the murder and robbery unit. At that time, our responsibilities there was the investigations of bank robberies. I think I've omitted something here, chain store robberies, as well as murders that were committed with a firearm, where at the time of reporting, the perpetrators of those crimes were unknown. In 2002, I was promoted to the rank of a captain, and I was placed also at the area commissioner's office as a task team coordinator. I coordinated the task team for housebreaking and theft of computers and wanted suspects. There were 3 task teams that we coordinated. From 2003 to 2007, I was the head of detectives. But I want to say 2003 to 2005, I was at the Valeria Detective Services, SAPS Valeria, here in Pretoria. And then from 2005 until 2007, I was head of detectives at the Silverton Police Station. 2007 to 2009, I was appointed as the program manager at the rank of a senior special investigator, Gauteng Region, Directorate of Special Operations, commonly known as the Scorpion. In 2010 to 2012, I was appointed as a colonel, the unit as the unit commander of serious organized crime investigations in Pretoria, responsible for investigations of that nature in that region. 2012 to 2014, I think around February, I was appointed as the acting provincial commander. The rank required a brigadier, but I was a colonel, serious organized crime in DPCI Gauteng, because the incumbent at that time was deployed elsewhere to assist with the managerial responsibilities. In 2014 to 2017, I was sent back to my unit in Pretoria, serious organized crime, which falls under the DPCI. Even the one I was acting falls under the DPCI. In 2018 until 2020, I was appointed or placed as a section head, project-driven investigations, organized crime at head office at the level of a brigadier. I beg your pardon, Commissioners, I jumped this one, 2017 to 2018. I got promoted, I was appointed as a brigadier, provincial head, SAPS Organized Crime Investigation, Detective Services in the Mpumalanga province. And then in 2018 to 2020, that's where I was transferred by the management to head office as a section head, project-driven investigations, where I was responsible to reinvent the OCTA process, or that organized crime threats analysis, and I was responsible to also reinvent the POX, Provincial Organized Crime Secretariat, as well as the NOX, National Organized Crime Secretariat, where we were dealing with the covert operations. So the crime intelligence will present some threats, and then when they present these threats, we will evaluate and then present before the National Organized Crime Secretariat for approval, monitoring, extensions, as well as terminations of those projects. I was traveling all over the country reinventing this, because after the establishment of the DPCI, these responsibilities went to DPCI, but now later the management decided to open up again the organized crime and commercial crime within the greater service, SAPS. And in 2020, Commissioners, I was appointed to the rank of a Major General at the DPCI KwaZulu-Natal. I have attached my full CV as per Annexure S1 on my bundle of annexures. Commissioners.
And that's the position you still hold?
That is the position I'm still holding, Commissioners.
Just clarify for me in terms of the hierarchy, if you are a provincial head of DPCI, who do you report to? Who's your media supervisor?
Thank you, Commissioners. In terms of the provision of Chapter 6A, 17, Section 17, Chapter 6A, Section 17 of the Police Act, the provincial head of the Directorate for Priority Crime Investigations reports directly to the national head of the DPCI.
So you don't report to the National Commissioner of Police or Provincial Commissioner of Police. There is simply not that line of reporting.
The line of reporting is directed by the Act. I will report to the national head, and the national head is accountable to the minister. If it is there in Section 17CA of the Police Act, the Chapter 6 that was inserted in the establishment of the Directorate. Thank you, Commissioners.
So to be clear, you do not report to the National Commissioner?
I don't.
And the National Commissioner has no jurisdiction over any aspect of your employment?
I report to the national head of the Directorate. I've got no dealings with the National Commissioner. If the National Commissioner maybe needed something from me, he will go via maybe the minister or the national head. The national head will instruct me to do whatever I needed to do, and I will report directly this side. I'll report to the national head, who will in turn talk to the National Commissioner. I don't write to them.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners. The DPCI was established on the 20th of February 2009 in terms of Section 17C, subsection 1 of the SAPS Act 68 of 1995, called SAPS Act. The Directorate is comprised of the National Head, appointed by the Minister of Police in concurrence with Cabinet, the Deputy National Head, the Provincial Heads, and officers appointed to the Directorate based on the required level of experience, training, skills, competencies, and knowledge. The DPCI is independent operationally from the South African Police Services. I omitted to put operationally there because we still get our salaries and salary advices through them, the mother body. But in terms of the Clinista case, we were supposed to be fully independent, but we are not. We're still going there, but operationally we're independent. The DPCI is independent operational from the SAPS, and it is tasked to prevent, combat, and investigate and the investigation of national priority offenses. Section 17A of the SAPS defines national priority offenses as organized crime, crime that requires national prevention or investigation, or crimes which require specialized skills in the prevention and investigation thereof. This is what is contained in the Act. The national head determines whether a particular crime is a national priority offense for the investigation of the Directorate. His determination, as circumscribed by legislation, Section 16, subsection 2 of the Police Act, and the policy guidelines set by the Minister in concurrence with Parliament. Section 16.3 of the SAPS Act provides that in the event of a dispute between the national head of the Directorate and the National Commission of Police or Provincial Commission of Police on whether a criminal conduct or an endeavor thereto falls within the mandate of the Directorate, the determination of the national head shall prevail. The Directorate consists of the following divisions in the province that I'm serving. There is a component called serious organized crime, which is responsible for the investigation of drug trafficking, human trafficking, kidnappings with a ransom, cash in transit, police murders, crimes against the state, to mention a few. The second one is serious commercial crime investigations that talks to addressing banking crimes, government frauds, and counterfeit, just to mention a few. There is a component called serious corruption investigations, which deals with public and private sector corruptions, as well as fraud and corruptions within the JCPS cluster. There is another component that is priority crime specialized investigation, which investigates cyber crimes, financial investigations, as well as asset forfeiture investigations. The next one is the Priority Crime Management Center, which is responsible for analysis of notebook profilings of people who are subjects of investigations, as well as the threat assessments in line with the national priority offenses. My role, the last one, Commissioners, is corporate support services. This section is responsible for supply chain management, human resource management, as well as finances in KwaZulu-Natal province. My role as the provincial head. As the provincial head, I am directly accountable to the national head. I have been appointed for a period of 7 years, non-renewable contract. Maybe to add on this, Commissioners, is that I think I'm left with, we're in January now. 1 year and 6 months. Then I'll be warm up the stoop. Thank you, Commissioners.
So June 2027 is when your term ends?
End of July.
July 2027.
2027 is my last month in the service, and I'll be 61 years, 1 month.
Thank you.
Management of specialized investigations and operational support in the province of KZN, ensure the effective and efficient management of priority crime and analysis thereof. ensuring the operational support capabilities within the DPCI KZN. Provinces are functioning according to the relevant legislations and directives and policies. The management and implementation of strategies from National Head Office to ensure effective prevention, combating and investigation of national priority offences. Maintaining effective management information and strategic planning services within the DPCI in the province where I am employed. Providing performance and implementation monitoring and evaluation reports to the national head. Commissioners, I thought I must also share this with you today. Successes, just a little bit of them that myself and my management have managed to achieve through the strategies that we have employed in the province upon my appointment. Throughout, in March this year, I'll be 38 years in the law enforcement. Although there was a break in between when I left the police to the Scorpions, then I came back. Both combined is 38 years, 18th of March this year. Throughout my 38 years of service, I held a level of excellence in carrying out my duties. This is particularly evidenced by my achievement in the DPCI KZN under my tenure. I have elected to list this achievement as the allegations against me depict an unscrupulous senior officials when only the opposite holds true.
General, maybe before you proceed, just so that we don't go back to this, because now you're going to be discussing specific cases or crimes. What are the, currently as matters stand, what are the crimes that have been determined as national priorities? Because you mentioned in 18.1 that you are responsible for the effective, efficient, preventing, combating, and investigation of national priority crimes. What are those as matters stand now?
Thank you, Commissioners. You'll see in page 6 of my statement, paragraph 15, I've indicated, just to mention a few, drug trafficking, human trafficking, kidnapping with a ransom, cash in transit haste, police murders, crimes against the state. This falls within the component of serious organized crime, just to mention a few. I must indicate to the commissioners that, you see, the CITs, in around 2018, they were investigated by detective services, where we dealt with a project that was addressing the scourge of this cash in transit. But thereafter, the then acting national head issued a directive in writing to declare the CITs a national priority offense, as it is said, stipulated in the law. Hence, today, the DPCI is investigating these crimes. Over and above that, Commissioners, the other crimes is banking crimes, not this normal fraud, but the frauds that are above the value of 500,000, and then there are other elements that are listed in order to qualify. It's not only the value. Sometimes the value might be less, but you find out the way the crime was committed and the public interest and all those other factors. If they fall within that scope, then the DPCI shall investigate. You might find a fraud of 3 million. People will think, because the value is beyond 500, the DPCI must deal with it. It's not only that determines that. So there is a mandate that has been authorized by the retired national head that outline all these type of crimes. If one have forgotten, you go to the mandate, it will assist you. And then there's government fraud. We talk about the issues of where there is a fraud in terms of this procurement of people. People will come and tender certain things. Sometimes they submit fraudulent documents in order for them to be appointed as a service providers there. You have also counterfeit goods, and then those are one of the serious crimes, according to me, where they have an impact on the economy of the country. for lack of a better word, they say Hong Kong, the street language, but it's counterfeit goods. So the other ones is indeed corruption within the public and the private sector, as well as the JCPS. Over and above this, if in
As well as the JC what?
JCPS cluster,
I'm terrible with acronyms. What's that?
Justice and Crime Prevention and Security Cluster, Commissioners.
Thank you.
I hope I have responded to the question of
You have,
my
thank you.
Commissioner.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. The time till to date that I have also submitted as Annexure S2, we managed to seize and successfully stored a cocaine to the street value of 1,649,000,000, and a list of all seizures is charged as hereto as Annexure S2. I think it was the first time in the country, or even in the province, that this amount of cocaine, including heroin, was seized within the space of what I've been dealing with at KwaZulu-Natal. Of note, in November last...
Sorry, Major General, I just, can we go to Annexure S2?
Yes, Commissioners.
And if you could just explain, because I think what you say in your statement now is to focus on just a few, right, in paragraph 21. Is that correct?
I'm listening.
Is that correct?
What did you say?
In paragraph 21, are you just highlighting a few?
Yes, correct.
Okay, and I just want to confirm that these that you're highlighting in paragraph 21 come from Annexure S2.
Correct, Commissioners, as well as Annexure S3.
As well as S3.
Sorry, were we not in paragraph 20? I see 21 deals with S3.
That's what I'm trying to understand, whether the few that are highlighted here are from S2 and S3, or only S2. Are you going to deal with S2, or do you want to just move on to S3?
Commissioners, the few that are mentioned here, as I indicated, it starts from paragraph 20 of my statement, as Commissioner Kumalo has indicated, correctly said so, and then it goes further to paragraph 21 with 21.1, 21.2, 21.3, which means it will be S2 as well as S3 in my bundle of documents.
Could we turn to S2?
Come again?
Could you turn to S2?
I am on S2, Commissioners.
Okay, so it says DPCI, KwaZulu-Natal, major heroin and cocaine seizures 2020 to date. I just want to understand who prepared this document and when.
This document, we normally have this type of things. The members will report. We keep a database of certain things. And then for the purpose of this commission, I requested my people to just say, give me this one and this one and this one, and then we confirm with everybody that is dealing with my statistics at the office and say, I want to talk about this and this one and this one. I've selected this one. It's me who selected it.
Okay, so this was prepared for the commission?
For the commission.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Sorry, General, in that paragraph 20, you say the province seized and successfully stored. What does it mean, successfully stored?
Which means, I'm saying successfully stored, it means that we were provided with the storage facility of these cocaines by the management, because you'll see at the lecture when I testify in terms of the theft of cocaine, there was a problem, but I'll deal with that when I arrive there. But for now, here on this seizures, we were assisted with the storage facility.
When you say successfully stored, it's not speaking to there were no losses. of this
Yeah, there were
along
no.
the way?
Correct, Commissioner. I think you assisted me. Thank you very much. There were no losses. That is the explanation
All right. Thank you.
of this successfully stored. There were no losses.
Thank you.
1,649 million.
And the 1.6 billion is made up of several seizures,
Correct, Commissioner.
not just one.
Not just one.
All right, thank you.
It is a number of them, and then they are depicted in this S2.
S2.
General, please clarify this annexure S2, because on the first page, there is the DPSI Hawks logo, but then from the second to last pages, on your right, it's a SAPS logo. So I'm wondering, who did the seizures? Is it the SAPS or is it the Hawks? Or are you taking credit for the work of the SAPS? I'm just trying to understand.
Commissioners, when I do my presentations, mostly at the first page, it will talk about us, the DPCI. And then when we continue, we utilize the SAPS page, but it's us, the Directorate for Priority Crime Investigation. So you'll see when we come, we'll tell you who we are,
Yeah.
and then we continue. Hence, we are saying administratively, for some other reasons, we still decide.
And
But hence, we have utilized this template for the
I
presentation.
couldn't help but notice on page 28 of the same document, it's SAPS vehicles that are there. So
Page
28 and 30, for example.
Yes. Commissioner, you want me to respond?
Yeah.
The DPCI, in terms of section 17, I think I talk under correction F. We are expected to be a multidisciplinary approach. That is the methodology we are approaching. So we don't work in isolation, alone when we do our operations. We have other law enforcement like your uniform branch, your combat. We don't have combat. We don't have uniform branch. We don't have crime intelligence. They are within the mother body structures. And then sometimes we also have our external stakeholders. So here, specifically, when you look at this party, there is also border policing that is a national component that we mostly work with at the harbor there in Durban. So those are, and also sometimes you'll find customs being part of the operations because we have employed the multidisciplinary or integrated approach in discharging our duties in order for us to achieve our set objectives.
Thanks. So, Major General, I think we understand that because the capacity comes from different parts of law enforcement in order to conduct operations of this kind. They're not small operations. So it's different components of law enforcement that are involved in the operation, correct?
We invite them. Not that they don't just become involved for the purpose of involving. Sure. We contract them to our operations.
So it's under your command?
Absolutely, as well as the operational methodology of the Directorate.
And so these operations that you've referred to here, including on page 28, are under your watch?
Absolutely true.
Thank you.
Commissioners, can I proceed? Paragraph 21.1, in November last year, we managed to seize counterfeit goods with the brand labels such as Gucci, Nike, and Adidas, worth of 53,572,837 rands at the Green Africa Container Depot there next to the harbor there. In December last year, we also seized illicit cigarettes to the value of 38,758,000 rand in a warehouse there in Pietermaritzburg that is also part and parcel of KwaZulu-Natal province, and I'm serving that as well. I have offices there. In total, we have confiscated illicit counterfeit goods worth 97,330,000 rand, 837 rands. And then I attach my evidencing report as per Annexure S3. These are but a few of the achievements from 2020, Commissioners. I didn't want to add a lot of things. You shall remember that in July 2021, we have this insurrection in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. Also, that operations was under my command. Even the cases are before the High Court as we speak. Those operations were managed and operationalized by my office. And we spent a lot of hours, so I don't want to waste time of the Commission by outlining, all the successes that the DPCI KZN has achieved. I just want to mention this few for the Commission's consumption. I have now I want to talk to the subpoena, preliminary submissions. Commissioners, I have been implicated by Lieutenant General S.D. Khumalo, Witness X and Witness C before this commission. I have, however, only received one Rule 3 notice which reads, the testimony of Lieutenant General Khumalo implicates you in matters under investigations, in particular inter alia. Improper use of your position as head of the Directorate for Priority Crime Investigation, KwaZulu-Natal, in that you leaked sensitive and or confidential and classified SAPS information or documents or caused same to be leaked to Mr. Vusumuzi Madlanga in a business partner of your son, Tato Senona. 1.2. Improper use of your position as head of the DPCI KZN to unduly benefit Mr. Madlanga and other members and associates of the so-called Big Five cartel. At the outset, I submit that these allegations above are malicious, void of truth, and amount to congestion. I deny having leaked any confidential information or using my position as the provincial head for benefit of Mr. Madlanga or the Big Five cartel. I look forward to providing my testimony to illustrate the aforesaid. Commissioners, I must say, I don't even know what is this thing called Big Five cartel. I only know Big Five in the country. If the commissioners want to allow me to say the Big Five that I know, I'll say it. But for the benefit of doubt and clarity, the Big Five that I know is an elephant, a lion, a buffalo, a rhinoceros, and a leopard. Those are the Big Five I know in the country. But this that is mentioned here, I don't know what are they talking about.
Are you aware of cartels that exist? Whether they are drug cartels or CIT or extortion, are you aware of those kind of cartels?
I know of syndicates that I have addressed in my province that are dealing in drugs. I know that we deal with a lot of groupings, that a group of people that are committing CITs on a regular basis. I know of a group of people that were dealing with the drive-by shooting, of which it was not part and parcel of our mandate, but it was a threat that was emanating in KwaZulu-Natal, that I approached the provincial commissioner with an operational plan in order to address that. He gave a go-ahead, then we stabilized that, and then we withdrew from that and continue with our mandate.
Are those cartels confined to the province, or do they have
Yes,
tentacles that extend beyond the province?
The ones that
you're talking about cross-border.
The ones that we have already addressed and we are currently addressing at my province, they are within the province. We don't have others that are moving out of the province. We have not yet identified people there, except in that investigations of the July 2021, where you'll find out there are people that are linked as well from Gauteng, few in Free State, and then some, I think, to some extent, Northwest, if my memory serves me well. But other than that, the syndicates that I have dealt with and that I'm dealing with are limited to the KwaZulu-Natal province.
Thank you.
Just so we are clear, you do know what a cartel is? Because in your response, you only refer to syndicates as if it's something different from a cartel. So I just want to understand from you, you do know what a cartel is?
Thank you, Commissioner. I went and checked. Yeah, now I do know what is a cartel. I think it's a synonym of a syndicate. Thank you, Commissioners.
Is it, though, General? Are the two synonyms?
I believe so, Commissioner, that a cartel might be a synonym of a syndicate. That's my belief. I might be wrong, but I stand to be corrected. That's my understanding, sir.
I thought your seniors who gave evidence before you suggested that there is a difference, but let's leave it there. Thank you.
Normally, this word is utilized outside the borders of the country when we meet with other law enforcement. Here in South Africa, we talk about a syndicate. It's like when you say organized crime. There is a difference of a Z and a S. Here we use S when we say organized crime, but outside they use a Z. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thanks. Commissioner Chair, perhaps it would help if, Major General, you could just define a syndicate then for us, so we know that what you mean when you talk about syndicates.
A syndicate is more closely to what we call people who are committing organized crime. But according to my understanding, I'm just going to give you a description, not necessarily a definition to that effect. Is two or more people working together committing crime on a continuous basis. The main purpose is to have money and power. That is my description and my understanding of a syndicate. Commissioners.
Thank you.
Question 1, infiltration within the SAPS. Prior to addressing my knowledge of the allegation of criminal syndicate infiltration, corruption, and political interference within the criminal justice system, I deem it prudent to discuss the manner in which the investigations within the DPCI are conducted. Criminal investigations within the DPCI and SAPS by nature rely on secrecy or for effective law enforcement. Confidentiality is indispensable to the operations as it protects the witnesses, undercover police operations, and intelligence. As head of the DPCI KwaZulu-Natal,
sorry to interrupt you. Sorry, again, it's just for clarification. When you say criminal investigations rely on confidentiality and secrecy, what would be included in criminal investigations? Would it include I presumably would include a docket?
Remember, in DPCI, mostly the cases that we deal with, it's major case investigation. It might be one docket, but it can take us a year or two to complete. We call most of our cases major case investigations, and also project-driven investigations that are undercover operations. We don't disclose that. It is on a need-to-know basis. But you'll hear, as I'm continuing with my evidence, what the clear answer to what you have asked me now. It will be depicted in my statement, and I will talk to that. Maybe it will give you a clarity.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners.
I'll wait for that. Thanks.
Yeah. As head of the DPCI KZN, I'm privy to criminal investigations that fall under the mandate or directorate. I am rarely privy to the particularities of investigations within other provinces led by my fellow DPCI heads, or investigations by the greater service, SAPS body, and or specialized interventions units such as the PKTT, the Political Killing Task Team, that it will be part and parcel of cost that cost us to be here today, one of the things that cost us to be here. In instances where I do gain knowledge of sensitive information, I think this will answer your question, led by the various heads, I gain the said knowledge through our DPCI National Project Committee Forum. And all the attendees are required to sign the oath of secrecy, even though we possess a top secret security clearance. Commissioners, even at the province, we have a provincial project committee forum that I am chairing on a monthly basis, and there we also sign the oath of secrecy, even though we possess the top secret security clearance. Also the external stakeholders like your Department of Home Affairs, FIC, NPA, they are required to sign that, and we keep record. The purpose of us doing that is to ensure that people are not going to leak this information. If you find to have done that, you'll have to face the consequences.
And to confirm, you have a top security clearance.
Mine has just expired in September, so it's in the process of being renewed. I've applied. I do have a reference number, can share it with the commissioners if need be, off camera.
Okay, so
it expired September
25.
Yes.
Thank you.
Commissioners, at the forum, you'll find the attendance sometimes of the Deputy National Head and mostly the Divisional Commissioner, National Priority Offences Operations. Component heads, and then you'll find external stakeholders, as I've indicated, Department of Home Affairs, National Prosecution Authority representative, and Financial Intelligence Center representative. You find crime intelligence representative there and DPCI provincial heads. We meet on a quarterly basis to present various project investigations. During these presentations, we are advised to conceal the identities of suspects or any information which may jeopardize the investigations. In that presentation, you won't see the names of the targets. You will just know the facts, what exactly is happening, but you won't see the names of the targets. We further have a DPCI WhatsApp group where we deposit successes of each province by the provincial heads. It's like when we're sharing those successes and break stories of our successes, and detailed information is never shared via this WhatsApp group. Taking the above into consideration, I cannot say that I am privy to any criminal infiltration within the criminal justice system outside of the DPCI KZN. I therefore possess no knowledge as to the business conducted by the Big Five cartel and the composition of this Big Five cartel. I do know the cases where police officials are corrupted by perpetrators of crime in my province. However, these are individual cases not linked to syndicates. I cannot discuss these cases as most, if not all, are presently under investigations and therefore before court. So to answer also the concern of the evidence leader, we do have single-facet cases, even though we don't discuss them in an open space. They remain within that component. Question number 2.
General, my concern with your response to this section of the question is you are dealing with sensitive information of investigations led by DPCI. You are not dealing, for example, with sensitive information relating to investigations by subs or various units within the subs, such as GCI Ops, such as, for example, the PKTT. So you're only answering part of the question, not the full question. And that's my concern. So can you just answer the full question?
Commissioner, I think in one of my paragraphs I want to go to that one. I've indicated I am not privy to investigations by the Greater Service, I mean the SAPS, in its totality. Then I gave an example, I included the PKTT. Even if they do any other task team or whatever, they have currently their own provincial organized crime secretariat where they deal with covert operations. I'm not part of that. I am not privy to those investigations. I was telling the commission here, what is it that General Senona is privy to? But the rest that I'm not talking about, I bear no knowledge of that, Commissioner.
General, sorry, Ms.
Go ahead.
Yes. General, and I'm hoping this is just a clarification question because I know we're still in that territory. You say in paragraph 32, I can, however, positively affirm that there is no cartel infiltration within the DPCI KZN. Now, I imagine cartel infiltrators will not announce themselves. If you've got them already, they're not going to announce themselves that we are here. How are you able to make such a definitive statement?
Thank you, Commissioners. I bear no knowledge of that infiltration. So eventually, nobody, even the crime intelligence in the province, came and presented a threat that suggests to talk about the cartel infiltration of DPCI KZN, as well as our PCMC, Priority Crime Management Center, those that are dealing with the threat assessments that are emanating. That type of a presentation was never presented before me, so that I can come here and say, fully I agree. Then when I'm asked how many, where, how, and so forth, I must be able to respond to that. Here, I'm talking about that I am knowledgeable of. Yes. That I'm not knowledgeable, I can't talk about it, which means from where I'm sitting, there's nothing until I'm advised by my colleagues and say, we have picked up this thing that needs to be dealt with, and we shall deal with it.
Yes. Well, isn't then, and that's exactly what I was interrogating or checking with you, isn't then the correct statement to make, or that you should have made, is I am not aware of any infiltrations in the DPCI KZN. It's a completely different statement to saying there is no such, because in your statement you say there is no such.
Thank you, Commissioner. I think is a human error in writing this language, English. Bear with me. I beg your pardon in terms of
I accept that. You don't need to say more about it. I just wanted to be sure that I
think the statement that the Commissioner has corrected me about is the most correct statement.
Thank you. Thank you, General.
Thank you. I'm now going to talk about question 2, the nature of my relationship with Mr. Madlanga. Commissioners, I met Mr. Madlanga around, Vusimuzi Madlanga, around 2018, 2019, I think, around that year. And when we met, we were in Pretoria. It was a wedding, and for that matter, Commissioner Kumalo, it was my traditional wedding.
It was your own wedding.
No, I'm not sure why you are addressing only me, General, but...
Well, you see...
So did you say that it was your own wedding?
For that matter, it's my traditional wedding. When I'm addressing the commissioners, and one of you is looking at me, my mind directly goes to... It's nothing sinister. I'm just afraid to address the chairperson because it's a justice, I'll make a mistake and I might be in trouble to say, I'm justice sorry, so why are you calling me? But on a lighter note. As far as I can remember, it was at my wedding in Pretoria when we were doing this traditional wedding. After
So you say 2018 or
2018,
you don't remember when your wedding was?
I think it should be 2019 because I went and double checked to be
Just-
correct
You
when I
better
come
Just
here.
Your
pray,
wife might
just
not be
pray,
happy.
General. Oh, I wanted to say exactly the same. I wanted to say, just pray that your wife is not listening.
Commissioners, if I'm going to be punished for what I said and then it was wrong, I'll just bend down and then she gave me lunches and then I'll take it. So, Mr. Matlala was introduced to me through a relative of my wife whom she was dating at the time, and then they said he's the owner of Cat VIP Security Services. We exchanged numbers, and then I happened to like him. And then that day, we never had to talk too much because it was my traditional wedding, and there was a lot of people.
The language you use, General, you say, I took a liking to him and we exchanged numbers. Was there any particular reason for you to like him?
You know, Commissioner, in the location where we grew up, you know, when people, they are introduced to you and then they come humble before you, you will like a humble person, which means you know you'll get respect. You won't be undermined or whatever. You know, there are people when they are introduced to you, you find a face that is so fun and then, yeah, hello, how are you? But if a person come and say, hey, hello, my brother, hey, Puti Gunjani, we are pillars, those type of things with respect, that thing makes a mark.
Urata buikokobetso.
Buikokobetso. There is a verse in the Bible, James chapter 4, verse 10. It says, humble yourself and the Lord will lift you up. That's the vision of where I come from. You don't have to make noise. Just humble yourself.
General, just so that we don't go back and forth, where was this area? You say in Pretoria, was it in a township? And was this the first time you saw Mr. Matlala, or you had seen him before, but you were only formally introduced in 2019?
It was the first time. It was in Mamelodi.
Perhaps for the record, what I said was Sesotho for you like humility.
I didn't hear that, Commissioner.
No, I was translating into English
Oh.
the bit about Rawi Kokobetso.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner. So, you'll realize that I've never met Mr. Matlala because he's a businessman. My relationship with Mr. Matlala is not because he's running a security company, he's doing this. I am the head of the Hawks. Even there, I never said I'm head of the Hawks. I was introduced as the husband to my wife. And my wife and him happen to share the same surname.
But he may well have been told that you are head of the Hawks. You don't know.
Somebody there, but not
On the
me.
day, yes.
Well, it's no secret.
I can't say people, those who knows where I'm working, but you'll realize, I want to bring this under your attention, Commissioners, that I have seriously huge successes in my province. I don't like media. I don't sell myself. People, they started to know me too much and my faces because of this commission. A lot of people didn't know who I am or what. Some might know the name, but they can't know the face. That is how I live. I don't like media. You'll realize most of our successes, I'll be standing there. If you know me, you'll see me from behind while the provincial commission is addressing the media. I run away from media because I don't like publicity. That's one of my principles. Thank you, Commissioners.
Sorry, just you said that your wife shares a surname with Mr. Matlala. Are they related?
I don't want to answer that question.
Why not?
No. It's not parcel and parcel of this. I don't want to.
But they share a surname, but you don't want to say whether they're related
They share a
or not.
surname. I don't want to answer that question.
But she knows Mr. Matlala.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Commissioners.
General, if I may just ask, I think it's not sufficient for a witness who's asked a question to simply say, I don't want to answer the question. I think you have to say more. For what it's worth, but I think you have to say why you don't want to answer that question.
Commissioner, I hear what you are saying to me. Earlier, one of the commissioners said, hey, I don't know what will your wife said. She also said that. So I don't want to create animosity in my own house by talking about the line of their relatives and so forth. Hence, I also say he was dating a relative of my wife. So this thing of related and what, I beg your pardon. I'm begging for your mercy. I do not want to respond. Allow me not to respond now, but if I'm compelled, I'll request to seek legal advice.
Yes, that's fair. If you're compelled, you will deal with it at that point. But I think what has to be understood is witnesses are not free to choose questions that they answer or don't answer without providing an explanation. The question of your explanation is a question of weighing whether it's a good enough explanation, we leave it at that point, or we make a pronouncement about it at some point. But I think the point that I wanted to make is witnesses don't get to pick and choose what questions they answer. You are here to assist the commission. And if you are asked a question that you have concerns about answering, you do have an obligation to say more than I don't want to answer. That's the only point I wanted to make.
Thank you, Commissioners. You see, I will say by virtue of the surnames, I don't think there is a relation there. By virtue of the surnames, I don't think so, because, and then number two, he was dating a family member of my wife. But now, when you look at the issue of the family member, maybe they might have been related through that relationship, but this one of the same name, I don't know.
Thank you, General.
Thank you, Commissioner.
That's fine, General. I asked because you offered that evidence. You are the one who said that he shares the same surname.
Yeah, they share the same name.
That is why I asked that question. But I think, there's a relation, you said. And so that answers the question, and we can move on.
Commissioners, our relationship developed over the years, and I consider him as a friend or younger brother because he's younger than me, Mr. Madlanga. You know, in our culture, once we started to develop a relationship, we don't call each other friends, or what you said, call each other brother. Uputi. So, as can be seen from the WhatsApp chat, Mr. Madlanga and I will regularly check in with each other and would arrange to meet whenever he was in Durban or I in Pretoria. Our meetings were purely that of a social nature. I must make it plain to the Commission that since the beginning of my tenure at DPCI, KZN, Mr. Madlanga has never been a subject of investigation within the Directorate since 2020 when I took up office till today. And Mr. Madlanga, further to that, the name Vusimuzi Ket Madlanga has never been mentioned at the National Management Forum as well as the National Project Committee Forum. Also in my PPC, my Provincial Project Forum. So I also sit in the Provincial Management Forum. Sometimes we'll discuss certain things there in the management. Only generals will sit there with the Provincial Commissioner. If there are things that are giving the Provincial Commissioner a problem, he will mention them there. But that had never happened in my presence. I therefore possessed no knowledge of Mr. Madlanga's alleged criminal ties and/or activities. That is my response to this question 2 in relation to our nature of relationship. I want to go to paragraph 37, that goes to WhatsApp exchanges, December 2020 to 2025 January. As stated above, Mr. Matlala and I were friends and met on a regular basis. I did on occasion meet with Mr. Matlala to advise him on security matters concerning the CAT VIP security. That is the only business by then I knew that it was vibrant with him. I have further connected him to third parties to assist him that are specializing in risk management to assist him. As a young brother, sometimes we'll say, look into the issues. If this will happen, how are you going to mitigate the risk in order for you to move on with business? These communications are dated 25 December 2024, as well as 28 December and 15 January 2025, concerning a third party I had referred to Mr. Matlala that conducts this risk assessment. I cannot give further details concerning the finalization and of details of the contract because the assessment of the risk assessment for CAT VIP protection as the contract was between the two people, Mr. Matlala and the third party. I only assisted by introducing those individuals. When I come to the question 3...
sorry, just to clarify on that point. So your assistance was only to introduce Mr. Matlala to...
a third party.
And you did not participate in any discussions regarding the risk assessment of his company?
What I did, I advised him he must, from time to time, do a risk assessment. I'll give you an example. Maybe you understand what is a risk assessment. But once then he developed interest in risk assessment. What do you mean? And then I will explain several things to him. Then I said, there is so and so. I will make sure you meet with him so that he can assist you with this. And then if you are happy, you can continue with that type of a contract with that person, if I can answer your question.
Okay, so I just want to, what I'm asking is, you introduced him to a third party?
Yes.
How did you do that? Were you at a meeting?
No.
How did you do it?
When he agreed to meet, I did call that gentleman, unfortunately, and then I called Mr. Matlala, and then I said, this is the guy who will see you. When can he come and where? And then he said he can come to the offices. And then I told that one, I said, this is the number of Mr. Matlala. I gave it to him, and then I said, continue. Then when I was in KZN, they did it here in Pretoria.
Thank you.
Question 3, forwarding of the disbandment letter to Mr. Matlala. As it is known by the Commission that the letter has been leaked as of 1st of January 2025, I merely forwarded the letter to Mr. Matlala as it was garnering the attention of many, including myself, on social media.
General, Ms. Hassim, I know you said no probing questions, but perhaps what I want to ask may, in a sense, cross the line, but I just feel I must ask the questions at this stage. General, to your knowledge, was the disbandment of the PKTT a subject of interest to Mr. Matlala?
We were just sharing information that was on social media, and
Can you please just answer the question directly? Was this a subject of interest to Mr. Matlala?
I do not know if it was a subject of interest to him, Commissioner.
So did you forward the letter to him of your own accord, or had he asked for it?
It was on my own accord, Commissioner.
Of your own accord. And if you were not aware that this was a subject of interest to him, why would you have done so?
I was not aware, but we are sharing things that are on social media that are garnering the attention of many. It garnered my attention, and we just share. I just forwarded it to him, and then after I forwarded him, I just left it there. We never had to discuss a lot of things here, and then because we were sharing issues that are on the social media.
And how many friends do you have? Are you able to tell? I know it's a difficult question.
How many?
How many friends do you have? I know it's a difficult question. You may say 15 or above 15 or whatever.
It's a difficult question, as the Commissioner has said. I don't know how to answer that.
But quite a large number.
Come again?
But quite a large number.
It can be. I doubt.
You have very few friends.
Come again?
You have very few friends.
Yeah, not too much. And then colleagues is not my friends. I have colleagues, then I have friends.
And did you forward this to any of your other friends?
I believe I might have. I believe I might have, because I might have not sent it only to him. I think I might have also talked to my colleagues about this.
No, sharing, not talking.
Or sharing.
You shared it.
I believe I might have, Commissioners.
You don't know for a fact that you did?
No, I believe I might have. There's no way that if I shared it with him, there must be 2 or 3, 4 people that I've sent to. I believe I might have.
Friends.
Friends.
Who also had no interest in the disbandment of the PKTD.
Of course, yes, Commissioner.
And if you go back to your records, do you assure me that you will be able to show me or show this commission the other people that you shared the disbandment letter with, the other friends that you shared the disbandment letter with? Say tomorrow, if by tomorrow I say, please show us the other friends that you shared the disbandment letter with, friends that had no interest in the disbandment of the PKTD. Would you be able to do that?
Hence I said
by tomorrow.
Hence I said I believe, Commissioners, because the phone that I was utilizing by then got damaged, and then I could be utilized again. And now I had to get another instrument.
So you would not be able to show us?
I checked on this one. I asked people to check for me, because some of these things they sit there on the iCloud, but even the one to show me that I've sent it to him, I can't find that one. I only relied on what was sent to me by the Commission.
One last question or comment. Would you agree if I suggest to you that it is very strange that you would have shared with Mr. Madlanga a letter disbanding the PKTD if you did not know him to have any interest in the subject of the PKTD? Would you agree with me that that's very strange?
I do not agree, Commissioner, because I was not aware he's the subject of investigation by the PKTD or any other unit within the South African Police.
Exactly my point. Exactly because you did not know that, so you randomly share the disbandment letter with him.
As I'm saying, is this unfortunate that they found it in his own gadget, and when they found it from his gadget, unfortunately, when I received the documents from the Commission, I tried to recuperate, to try and get the information to see is him and who. But unfortunately, I couldn't get that. But I disagree with that. I sent it to him because there was knowledge of me knowing that he is being investigated. I didn't know, Commissioners.
I said nothing about him being investigated. I have not said anything. I'm just focusing on you not knowing him to have an interest in the PKTD, and you randomly send or forward to him the disbandment letter. I have not said anything about an investigation.
Commissioners, when sometimes you send things to your contacts and everything, it's not the issue of we do have an interest in this thing. We just share randomly, just to talk about things, current affairs. That hey, this is what. But the issue of that I send it with ulterior motives, no, it's not there.
I don't for once hear you say, and you then discussed it as a matter that's out there, as a current affairs matter, as it were. I do not hear to say that at all. You just forwarded.
Commissioner, you will see.
Nor do I understand that he responded to you forwarding this to him, and responded in the sense of it being a social or a current affairs matter. I don't see that anywhere.
Commissioner, as we move on with this so-called screenshot messages, you will see that there will be some things that we have exchanged, but without talking thereafter, or even before. It is not a new thing that specifically for this one we never said and discussed certain things. There are at some stages where we will talk, at some stages we won't talk.
All right, thank you. Thank you, General.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Chair. Sorry, Chair.
Mayor, before you proceed, maybe just to clarify, before you forwarded Mr. Matala this letter, this disbandment letter, had you, before that day, had you shared with him and forwarded to him anything else to do with SAP's business or SAP's affairs?
Thank you, Commissioner. I can't recollect now before, but maybe as I've indicated earlier that I had a problem with my gadget. It was going to help me a lot to recollect, because when you do things with your friends or family and everything, it is difficult to keep track record exactly. Now it is an unfortunate situation. I'm sitting here, given these documents by the Commission, presented by the witnesses, and then I'm trying to recollect all these kind of things. And then wherever I remember, I will respond. Wherever I'm struggling to remember, I'm just afraid to come and say, I assume, or it is my opinion, 1, 2, 3, because I want to assist the Commission to give only facts, not assumptions or speculations. I want to assist the Commission. I didn't come here to speculate or assume or think this is. I came here to come and give facts that are to my knowledge. That are not to my knowledge, I won't be able to provide. But it is an unfortunate situation. I wanted to go through my gadget and get that, but unfortunately.
So is the short answer to my question that you don't recall whether you shared with him any information that relates to the SAPS before this letter?
Yes, I don't have a recollection of that,
Okay.
Commissioner.
Thank you.
Sorry, Advocate Hassan. Generally, you say in paragraph 34, we're still on page 13, you considered him to be a friend/brother. You're talking about Mr. Matlala. Next paragraph, you say, I would regularly check in with each other and we would arrange to meet whenever he was in Pretoria. I was in Pretoria or Durban, whatever, and our meetings were purely social. So during this social discussion, so when you were checking with him regularly, did he tell you that there was a raid at his house on the 6th of December 2024?
He did inform me there, I think in March, around there, if I recall.
March of what?
2025, if I recall, when we were talking.
Yes.
But in our discussion, he never informed me who are these police.
No, I did not ask about.
I'm just
who.
giving
Yes.
you a further explanation to your question, Commissioner.
Yes. And in these regular checkups, did he tell you that there was a raid at CAT Security Services where his weapons were seized in mid to late December 2024?
You did tell me that there was this thing, and then the police came to do inspection of firearms, the compliance. Then I said, if they're doing the compliance, so what? Allow them to do their job.
And when did he tell you that?
I am not 100% sure, but he did tell me, Commissioner.
See, it goes to Chair's question. For what good reason would you share with Mr. Matlala the disbandment of a political killings task team? What does Mr. Matlala have to do with the political killings task team based in KwaZulu-Natal when he's a security operator in Pretoria or Johannesburg? Why would he be interested in a political killing task team and its disbandment?
Look, I already indicated, Commissioner, that it was a garnering thing in the public domain. We just share it for the purpose of sharing it. I wouldn't want to create answers that are not there for the Commission. I want to give the Commission what I know.
Thank you, General. Let's take the tea adjournment and
1, 2. It's 11:15. We are ready to start. A reminder to please switch off your cell phones. Thank you.
Yes, Ms. Hasim.
Thank you, Chair. Major General, we were dealing with paragraphs 39 to 41. Is there anything else you wish to add on this question of forwarding the disbandment letter to Mr. Madlanga?
What I want to add, Commissioners, is that a witness came here before this commission, Lieutenant Colonel Kumalo, testified here and indicated that he saw this letter on social media on the 31st. Lieutenant General Kumalo came here and testified that he saw this letter on social media on the 1st of January around in the afternoon, and it spoiled his New Year celebration. General Senona, because this thing was garnering on social media, he sent it to Mr. Madlanga on the 2nd of January. Already this thing was in the public domain. Every person I had access to this type of a letter. So, and I must say, I deny the allegations that I possess knowledge that Mr. Madlanga was being investigated by the PKTT. Further to that, as stated above, I'm only privy to the investigations within the DPCI KZN. I couldn't have possibly known that Mr. Madlanga was under the investigation by the PKTT. The next one is question
Just
four.
a minute, General. Just a minute, General.
Okay, Commissioner.
We're hearing some background noise, General, and it's not even your voice, but we've asked our spokesperson to listen and, if possible, to attend to it. Yeah.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, General. You may continue.
Thank you, Commissioner. Allow me to talk to question 4. The heading is business relationship with Tato Senuna and Mr. Madlanga. At the outset, I'd like to say that I have no financial interest in any of Mr. Madlanga's business's operations, whether it be my son, Tato Senuna, or any other individual. Commissioners, my son is 33 years of age. My son is married with 3 kids. We rightfully live our lives independently to each other, but he still remains my son. And for a light note, I became a father on earth because of this one. Nevertheless, I came into knowledge of the building business relationship between Mr. Madlanga and my son. I do not recall the day, however, during the conversation,
Sorry, Major General, we will keep it to a minimum, but I just need to clarify. You say you came to knowledge of the budding business relationship between Mr. Madlanga and my son ex post facto.
Yes.
What exactly do you mean there? When did you come into knowledge? When did you come to have this knowledge?
If you look at the paragraph I was about to talk to, it says, nevertheless, 44, he said, I do not recall the day, however, during the conversations between me and Mr. Madlanga, he checked with me whether I knew Tato Senona. And I suppose this prompted him or piqued his interest because of the surnames are the same. And in my response, I confirmed that Tato Senona is my son.
I hear you say you don't recall the day.
I don't
Do you
recall
recall
it.
the year or the
Absolutely
month?
true. Come again?
Do you recall the year or month or any other time, anything else about when you came into knowledge? I accept that you don't recall the exact day.
It can't be 2025 early. It should be before that. It can't be 2025 early. It should be in the latter part of 2024.
Latter part of 2024.
It can be in the latter part of 2024, but I don't have a recollection of the date, as I've indicated in my previous saying now, 2 minutes ago, that I can't recall the date. But it can be in the latter part of 2024.
So in the last few months of 2024.
I believe so. I said I didn't want to say I believe so, but since you are asking a question, I believe it's in the latter part of the year, because when he asked me these questions about do I know Tato Senona.
Thank you.
I confirmed that Tato Senona is my son, and I inquired to know what about him. And then he informed me that my son approached him for a business proposal, and it was alleged by Mr. Madlanga that the proposal was in relation to property ventures. And I inquired also from my son about this proposal by Mr. Madlanga, or about this statement of Mr. Madlanga, in that he approached him for a business proposal in property ventures. And my son confirmed that yes, we were pursuing business just to look into the issues of property. And yes, in 2025, I see with our communication that the business took off, and I was informed by both my son and Mr. Madlanga that they were in the process of acquiring a property in Pretoria. I pause to state that my son works within the construction industry, having registered his business, Tato Senona Holdings, in 2016. I believe that witness X, with your assistant advocate, displayed my son's profile and his companies before the commission. It did happen. And I'm saying on the 6th of February, Mr. Madlanga excitedly sent me screenshots evidencing the property he had intended to purchase with Tato. Tato is my son, Tato Senona. I responded to Mr. Madlanga's message with an image of prayer emoji, saying thank you. A father will be happy if a son is having a job and is working, as long as it is a legitimate job. My interest, commissioners, in the property venture did not go beyond that of a supportive parent. It is a common cause and knowledge that we Africans, when our sons are doing certain things and they need the support, the moral support from the parents, we give them. It is a common cause and it is a common practice. In no way I have facilitated their business relationship. If it is alleged that I supported or facilitated the Pretoria property venture, it is only to the extent of assisting Mr. Madlanga to get hold of my son, as can be seen in the WhatsApp chats dated 24 January 2025, stamped 1822 and 1823. The WhatsApp exchanges dated 9 January 2025 depict nothing more than actions of an interested parent in the activities of his son. I had known that Tato was set to meet Mr. Madlanga. I therefore merely checking whether the meeting had transpired. For the edification of the commission, nothing came out of that property venture. I want to repeat, nothing came out of that property venture between Mr. Madlala and my son. The witness X says, I don't know what happened to that property, what is the current status. I'm telling the commission nothing out of the property venture between Mr. Madlala and my son, Tata Semana. And I implore the commission to undertake its own investigation to verify this fact. I'm confident that such inquiry will confirm the absence of any improper conduct or benefit, whether for me or for my son. Taking the above into consideration, witness X allegations in paragraph 9 to 17 are mere conjecture. Witness X failed to prove a beneficial relationship between Mr. Madlala and myself, and further fails to show why the purchase of the property proves untowards me as the provincial head. Commissioners, you'll realize that this witness, when she testified here, when she happened to use the following words, seemingly, it appears to, what was the other word? Presumably. I'm not good in English, but these words on their own, commissioners, they don't show facts. These are pure speculations. And they are causing harm to people's reputations and everything. It is important that people, when they come and testify before the commission, they need to be factual to assist the commission to make good determination. We must contribute towards the commission's making a good decision at the end of this commission. I want to add on this one that your witness X, to know whether the property has been finalized or not, you go to Remix. They will give you the details and say, no, this thing never happened or it happened. Or you go to CIPC. So I employ the commission to send its people to verify this information. And it is going to be confirmed, as I'm saying now, commissioners. My son is a private citizen who is allowed to conduct legal business within this country. This statement of mine, commissioners, I'm supporting it with the provision of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. Chapter 2, that talks to the Bill of Rights. My son has the right, the freedom of trade, the right to freedom of trade with any other person, as long as the business is legit. There's no dodgy businesses around that. His business relations should not and cannot cast a shadow upon me as a parent and or as a provincial head, especially when such business is above board. Commissioners, allow me to go to question 5. Medicare 24 Tshwane District contracts with SPS. I have no knowledge on the broader allegations of criminality surrounding the Medicare 24 tender. My knowledge is limited to the information Mr. Madlala has shared with me and that which I have read in the media. I am aware that the Medicare 24 was founded by Mr. Madlala, as I'm saying, I know what he told me and what I found on the media. Medicare 24 won a bid to provide medical and wellness services to the members of the SAPS at its Pretoria College. The contract price for the tender was 360 million rands. Mr. Madlala experienced payment problems with SAPS. I was informed by Mr. Madlala that his company has stopped receiving purchase orders for the tender. I deny allegation that I have assisted Mr. Madlala in securing the Medicare 24 tender. Tenders of such a high value fall under the national office, National SAPS office or the PCI office if there is there. And these tenders of this value are dealt with by Supply Chain Management Division, which is under the leadership of the Divisional Commissioner of Supply Chain, SAPS. And I believe the Divisional Commissioner did go and testify in the ad hoc committee, and he explained it explicitly that he went through the processes and this thing was awarded to Mr. Madlanga. Commissioner, another thing that is very much crucial and during the process of handling, this process is handled by the station, and I have no knowledge of officials sitting within the bid adjudication committee that are dealing with this processing of this contract. And also any other committee members that are seated there participating in this committee are appointed by the National Commissioner of the South African Police Services. The people that deal with these big tenders and everything is done at head office and may not have a bearing in the dealing with the National Commissioners also. I've got a bearing in the DPCI. And then, as I've indicated in my openings, Commissioners, I report to the national head of the Directorate. So, I therefore never received a kickback of any kind, directly or indirectly, from Mr. Madlanga for his securing of the tender. In relation to the purchase orders, I must disclose that on the 15th of April 2025, I accompanied Mr. Madlanga to a meeting held between himself and Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi. The meeting was organized by the former Minister General Cele, who was not present on the day. Mr. Madlanga has requested me that I accompany him for the moral support as he was not comfortable to meet with the General alone. The meeting was held at the apartment in the Pearls Umhlanga Hotel. Presumably, I'm just ask for your pardon because I used this word that I don't like, but I didn't do an investigation, but I believe that apartment is that of the General Mkhwanazi. Upon arrival, we sat in the living room area. We had conversations of a general nature. Shortly thereafter, Mr. Madlanga and Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi began their discussions on the issues of the payments. I am not privy to all that was discussed as I was moving between the living area and the kitchen. My knowledge, however, in terms of my recollection, is that the General agreed to assist Mr. Madlanga to get the purchase orders from head office, and then Lieutenant General Nkua was the, the end user of the services of this tender. And he spoke about Lieutenant General Nkua's rumors that she owning properties beyond her affordability, which might amount to corruption. And he also offered, there I heard that he also offered to hold, it's the first time I heard about the investigation against Madlanga, that to offer allegations of attempted murder against Mr. Madlanga for Tebogo Tobejane in exchange of information in relation to Lieutenant General Sibiya in that meeting. Commissioners, in a process there, the General offered me some drinks there. You see, there is a lounge there, then you go out, you come this side, it's a kitchen. There is some sort of liquor that was placed there. I was drinking. He offered me and I drank. It was after hours. I drank, Mina, because I'm drinking. Yeah, I was moving up and down. I am aware that I might be required to say, but you must also remember this. If I don't remember, unfortunately, but I was drinking on that day, moving up and down. And consequently, the meeting, consequent to the meeting above, on the 26th of November 2025, I received a series of threatening WhatsApp from Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, I think they are being attached as per S4. I was sent these charts in response to Mr. Matlala's appearance before the ad hoc committee on the 26th and 27th of November. These messages, they appear threatening to me, they are threatening to me and Mr. Matlala, and amounts to intimidation. I will take the commission through these messages during my testimony on the day. Aside from attending the meeting of the 15-2025, I deny any assistance to Mr. Matlala.
Sorry, Major General?
Yes.
This is the day. So do you want to go to the messages now, or do you want to go there later?
Maybe we might go later or now. I don't know what is the commission.
This is your opportunity now to give your version, so... if
I
you
am
want to-
aware it's my opportunity, but I've not yet concluded.
You've not yet?
concluded my testimony.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Maybe before I close, I might go there,
Okay.
unless the commissioners say, do it now.
No, you're moving on to a different topic, and that's why I'm asking, do you want to go there now? If you say you'll come before you conclude, that's fine.
No, if you insist, let's go there. It should be S4. Thank you, Commissioners. You'll see there were messages sent to me on 1831 and 1853, and this message were automatically deleted, like not with this thing, that disappearing message, but I send you a message and I delete it physically there. Unfortunately, I was unable to capture what was said there, but maybe I must read it on record. But I'm afraid to list names. I therefore request
Before
that.
you do that, I'm looking for the date. I struggle to find that date of 26 November 2025.
If I can present my phone, it will show that. My work phone.
No,
If the-
sorry,
if the-
General, I meant on this document.
Yeah, but when you do that, when you screenshot it and do something, sometimes it doesn't appear, but I can help because I saved it.
I'm with you.
I can assist you with this gadget that the SAPS has provided me with. It was, can I look at it? Am I allowed, Commissioner? Okay.
Oh, shucks.
Did you get it?
Chair, the request is that in this text that's sent by Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, there's reference to other third parties' names. And the request is to not mention those names. And I see no problem in that if we don't mention those names in public. Major Gen-
All the names without exception, because, for example, one name mentioned is actually in the statement. In fact, yeah.
Well, I think that there are names that are not in the statement. So it's the names that are not already covered in the written statement by the witness.
Yes.
That would...
Yeah. Ms. Mafisa, do you want to please? think perhaps tomorrow you should just sit there rather than this up and down.
Chair.
Because even if you are there, you are not really talking to the witness. So I don't think the proximity assists in any way.
Chair, perhaps maybe after the lunch adjournment,
Yes.
I'll just bring my files here and sit here.
Yes,
Thank
yes,
you, Chairperson. Thank you.
Yes. I was raising the point about the names not being mentioned.
Yes.
I'm looking at this annexure and looking also at the statement, and I see that there are some names that are mentioned in both documents, or at least I do see one.
Yes.
So is the point you made to your colleague, Ms. Hassim, does it apply to all the names or just some of them?
So just some of the names. So the names that have already been mentioned within the statement, as well as in Major General Sonona's testimony, that can be mentioned. However, there is one particular name in that WhatsApp chat, or rather in that screenshot, that we have not included in the testimony, in his statement rather.
There's one name, another one now, that I see. Reading too many statements, one gets confused. I see a second name. I remember seeing it when I was preparing on Sunday. Now I'm not sure whether it was in the General Sinona's statement or in another statement.
Yeah.
Let me do what the Americans do. Let me ask counsel to come forward. I'll just show you the name here. Officer, this was a useful exercise. So it turns out that the other name I was mentioning can also be mentioned. But
Yes.
now I'm not sure whether the general is aware which name is going to be left out. So
Perhaps maybe my attorney can assist Major General Sonona.
perhaps I trust your of the court, we are the court. Maybe, but just whisper to the general which name to or not to.
While my at my request our team not to flood that appropriately redacted.
discussion now. I thought it was just mentioning to the witness which name not to divulge. Is it done, Ms. Mafisa?
Unfortunately, Chairperson, there's a particular paragraph actually that should also not be read out loud for safety reasons.
May we-
So I did omit to specify.
May we just leave this entire annexure until later? And,
Please, Chairperson.
so
Thank you.
that
That would
whatever is done, when it is done, it's structured.
yes, that would assist us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Please continue, General. Let's skip dealing specifically with these texts or chats.
Thank you, Commissioners. I was saying, aside from attending the 15 April 2025, I deny any assistance of Mr. Matala for the payment of his invoices for the Medicare tender. The message exchanges between Mr. Matala and myself, dated 15 January, is not proof of the aforesaid as alleged by witness X in her statement. As previously stated, I was privy to Mr. Matala's struggles with payments and purchase orders. This is merely another occasion where Mr. Matala was opening up to me regarding his struggles. This is normal between friends, and it took place again in our WhatsApp exchanges of 13 May 2025. Regarding the message of the 14 April 2025, which reads, "Oh, Nduna, please don't forget to ask our brother about the lady who's stirring problems." Here, I also utilize this name, this word, assume, that I don't want to, but I assume that it may have been concerning the Medicare 24 tender, and his issues are with Lieutenant General Nkua. I unfortunately do not have the best recollection regarding his message. I reiterate, however, that I have never assisted Mr. Matlala in the payment of his invoices or have ever shown questionable concerns over his tender or payments. Concerning the 5 March WhatsApp message exchange, I was merely checking in on a friend. I will admit that the News 24 article concerned me as allegations were disturbing. I discussed the allegations with Mr. Matlala telephonically and grew wary of his innocence. Definitely, this thing played a part in me culminating the decision to start to move away.
Wary or weary?
I don't know the pronunciation, Commissioner. I said wary, but I don't know, is it weary?
Perhaps let me ask what you intended.
Disturbing.
Okay.
Some sort of disturbing. It didn't sit well.
Okay. All right. Thank you, General. Thank you.
Thanks, Commissioner. So, this definitely played a part in my culminating decision to start to refrain, moving away from Mr. Matlala gradually. You don't just cut relationship abruptly. So I decided to not and interact with him as previously we did.
Major General. You say this definitely played a part in my culminating decision to cut all contact with him.
I must say, since he was arrested, I cut. I've never even visited him to prison. I've never even tried to access him through a third-party person or whatever. I just cut.
After his arrest?
When he was, I saw it on the news, he's arrested, and then I just cut.
Right.
Then,
but up until that point, you continued to have contact with him?
Look, up until that point, he will call me, I will call him, but my way of talking to him was very wary since I saw this article, because I asked him about it.
Since 5 March?
Yeah, I started to become worried about his conduct.
So your contact with him, you
It
cut
did-
contact with him because he was arrested.
it did-
But let me finish my question. But you continued to have contact with him until the date he was arrested, but you say your contact was now with caution.
Maybe it was cautionary, 100%. So it was cautionary, but after his arrest, I cut.
Okay. And you say you discussed the allegations with Mr. Matlala. When did you discuss those allegations with him?
I will have to refresh my mind on after I've sent this. Immediately after I sent him this thing, we were on calls. I was telling him, this thing, why are you doing this, whereas this company is yours? What is the problem now? Why is there changes all of a sudden of these things? Those type of questions you ask a brother. And then you started to become worried. I told him, I started to become worried that this thing, why are you changing? I think this thing is the changing of a directorship of his company. That is the thing that started to worry. If you have a contract with such a big contract and then you decide to change the directorship, what is the cause of that?
And it was because of
that
that.
is where I became cautionary and started to say, hey, Mo, here, I need to start to reverse.
Okay,
Yeah.
I get that. And just again to confirm, because you do say it, but just to confirm, it was that media article that made you concerned.
It made me very much concerned, yes.
Right. Thank you.
And you also say, General, you grew wary of his innocence. Do you mean his claims that he was innocent? Or what do you mean by that?
Come again, Commissioner?
You say you grew wary of his innocence. What do you mean by that?
I was worried about him changing the directorship. Why? Why do you change the directorship if
My focus is on innocence. What do you mean by that part of the statement? Do you see this is 72, 1, 2, 3, fourth line. You grew wary of his innocence.
It's in your statement,
Do you mean
paragraph.
innocence
Yes.
or his claims of innocence? What do you mean exactly?
Commissioners, because that article talks about fraud,
Yes.
fraudulently obtained tender. That's what prompted me to grow wary of his, is an article. Then it disturbed me and disturbed my...
My focus is just on the language. I want you to please explain the language. What do you mean by what you say there? It's not a complex...
It disturbed
Question.
me, Commissioner,
Yes.
regarding that he got the tender straight, but why this changing of the directorship?
Okay, I'll leave it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners. As I indicated, I discussed these allegations with Mr. Matlala telephonically, and of course, the word that is giving us some little bit of a challenge, wary of his innocence. This definitely played a part in culminating my decision. I want to go now to question 6, Commissioners.
Go ahead.
Question 6, message on the 6th of March 2025 regarding General Mkhwanazi. Mr. Matlala and myself frequently converse about current affairs. This message is nothing more than two friends sharing news clips, articles about matters in the media. Like we were sharing that other one, and now here it is evidence that on the 29th of April, there was a message that he also sent to me that was on the news, according to him, and then he forwarded me the message and everything. And then fortunately, I did my response. I can't recall, maybe if I'm allowed to check if when I sent him this thing, he did respond or what, but I don't remember him responding or us having a call. Sometimes you will send a message to a person and then he doesn't read or respond.
What
of
was
which
it?
I'm also doing that.
What was it about, General?
This is a clip where the General Mkhwanazi, after he presented in Parliament, and then he addressed the media. ENCA, he addressed the media there that he didn't apply for the Hawks Head because it's not going to benefit him. The type of a media briefing clip statement is just a picture of him and this narrative there, of which we just share things. Because a lot of people, I must say, admired General Mkwanazi and myself when things were happening. The country was saying, hey, KZN is doing the right thing while we were fighting stubborn crimes in the province together, partnering together, applying the integrated approach. And people were saying, hey, you and him, General Mkwanazi, are working very close and nicely. They had their own wishes, people. So sometimes you will share certain things with people to say, ish, I so wish. But unfortunately, some of the wishes doesn't come true.
Thank you. You may continue, General.
Thank you, Commissioners. Then next question is forward of Ismail Molot Ramos Nangi's affidavit. Yes, indeed, I agree. I did forward this one to Mr. Madlanga. The main reason is that, let me first start by saying, has been leaked to the media. This article was leaked in the media on the 10th of March 2025, and I did send it on the same day. And when I forward same to Mr. Madlanga, I also have attached there a News 24 article, evidence in the foresight, annexure S5. I therefore deny allegations that I may have leaked sensitive and or confidential and or classified information to Mr. Madlanga. I merely sent it to Mr. Madlanga to warn him, as this gentleman, Mr. Nangi, we, as the province, my office, have arrested and charged him for kidnapping, attempted murder, and extortion of a businessman where a ransom of 35 million was demanded. So, to elaborate further on this one, the only thing here, I believe I was complying with the sort of proactive policing, because when you look at the statement of Mr. Nangi, the address, it shows midstream Centurion. And I am aware that Mr. Madlanga is staying in midstream Centurion. Here I was saying to the brother, be careful, because there is a person of this character in your vicinity whom we have charged with regard to these charges. Be careful, you, your kids, and your wife, as you are moving around. And eventually, that is what I was doing to him. And if you look into Section 205 of the Constitution, it says the SAPS is responsible to prevent, combat, and investigate crime. One of the things there. The others is the issue of the security of the country and so forth. That line. And then when you look into the strategies of the police, we are required to do proactive policing sometimes to prevent possible crimes that might happen because of this character of this person. So I was just proactively warning him, be careful.
We will return to this, but for now...
I know you will return. I just want to clarify.
Sure, I have a clarification as well, but go first,
Okay.
Commissioner.
So I just want to understand, I think earlier on you spoke about, you generally discussed current affairs. So I just want to understand which parts are current affairs and which parts are proactive policing.
Look, this was also a current affairs on the media. However, this one had an additional thing that I was trying to warn him about, a person of this character that we have addressed in relation to kidnapping of ransom. It was on the news, we did share, it's also part and parcel of current affairs, commissioners. However, to a further extent, I was just highlighting this, that be careful. It's like if I know where the commissioner is staying, there is a character, and then we are close, we are friends, I will warn him, look at this complex of yours. They are jamming the cars this way. Be careful when you go there. When you lock the car, make sure you test the car is locked before you go into that. That is the ideal. That is what is happening here.
Thank you. Yes, Ms. Kas-
Thanks,
Ms.
Commissioner.
Yes, so this is what you do, is you warn people. I mean, this is, I think the example you just gave to Commissioner Beloy is also different. You might say, be careful because this type of crime is happening in your area. But what you did here was you gave Mr. Matlala details of the alleged crimes and what Mr. Nangi was being investigated for.
No.
Isn't that so?
No. You see, when you look at that document that you gave us, commissioners, I saw an affidavit of Nengi and the address. He was the subject of investigation and he is still. The head office has taken over that investigation of the kidnapping. Now, what is happening is that when I picked up that, I just sent it to him, and these people, I believe that somebody might have put this thing on the public domain, because you'll see there was also high court papers that they wanted to sue the police and everything are there. So it's not the things that are within my office or whatever. It's things that were there in the public domain. I just sent the thing there.
But you say it was to warn him because
Yes.
this individual had been arrested for very serious.
And he was
Crimes.
out by then, yes.
And yes, by now he's out. But when you only forwarded this to him on the 10th of March,
Yeah.
after he was released.
He was released.
But when was he, but you knew about this before the 10th of
Which one?
March? This particular individual and the investigation into this individual.
I knew.
And the arrest of this individual.
I knew about the arrest. I knew about the case when it was withdrawn in court in January. But, the address of him, I was not aware of his address. I picked it up when I was reading that article. Then I said, by the way, then I sent it.
And that's when you then sent the information to Mr. Matlala to say,
because it was there.
here's the affidavits.
Yeah, it was there on the public domain. That's why I sent it. I must tell the commissioners that I will never take information of the police that is in custody of the police and share it with any other person. I will never do that. It is not correct to do that, and I will never do that. When I took office, I signed an oath. I will never do that. When I joined the police, I signed an oath. I will never do that. I've never done it. It's not going to happen, and it will never happen up until, even if I die, I'm able to do it in the grave. It will never happen.
But you did share this with Mr.
This
Matlala.
one, I shared it because it
Because
was
it was
in
already-
the public domain. Of
Because there was a
course.
media article already.
Yes, thank you. It was
you-
there
okay.
on the media.
Okay.
Yes.
No, I
Commissioner.
understand. So we will come back to this. I just want to make sure we get your...
No, I
Sorry,
provided you
Advocate
answers.
Hassan, can we just clarify what was shared exactly? Was it the newspaper article or the affidavit attached? I'm just not clear what General shared with Mr. Matlala. If you can just clarify that, please.
Commissioner, that document was a bit big. I sent it through it is a newspaper. I think is an article that was there. I think these people presented it somewhere, and then it was leaked into the media. When you open it, you'll see an affidavit and everything. I just send it just to sensitize this one. And further to that, there is another one to show that it's them who leaked this thing on the news. The other person who was arrested with them, he went and he was interviewed in Mpumalanga through a local, radio station there, and his statement, he also published it there, one of the accused persons on this thing. So these things, they were published by them there. I just forwarded it. I didn't take it from. When you look also at the case number that is depicted there, there is a date stamp of the police. There is a case number that is depicted there. And then when I look at the date stamp, it talks about Bedford View, something like that. So you saw that. Now, if you saw that, it's good. Bedford View is where? There's no Bedford View in KwaZulu-Natal. Bedford View is here in Gauteng. This General Senona does not have access in those cases in order for him to leak information as it is alleged here. I do not have access. My profile on the access of the cases is limited to KwaZulu-Natal.
The annexure, Commissioner Khumalo, is in Exhibit Bundle File 1 at page 65, and it's about 220 pages long.
And also, I believe that if you look at the document, there were people like General Mkwanazi. Let me rather not mention a lot of names. There were police officials there, I think 5 of them, if not 4, who are listed in the High Court applications, and all those things were attached there. So someone, somewhere, somehow might have leaked this thing that we came into to see, and then I did send that thing. I must tell you that there is a High Court applications against the police by these individuals. There is a civil case that is underway as we speak here. And then I'm just worried, commissioners, that I don't want to elaborate too much on these things. But I am not listed on the issue of the civil claim of these things. Other people are listed there. Thank you, commissioners.
We will return to this, but is there anything else you want to say about, from your perspective, about this particular incident, this investigation?
Which investigation?
Against this individual, your paragraph 74 and 75.
I said head office, the PCI, took over the investigation. After, it was in March. They took the entire case dockets and everything.
Okay.
So they are continuing with the investigation with an understanding that they want to place it back on the court roll because it was withdrawn due to certain technicalities.
You don't wish to expand on that?
Please.
This was an investigation that was under your command, isn't that so?
As the provincial head, yes.
Okay.
And you know the organigram of the hawks at the province is a general. General does not necessarily read dockets. It's a strategic position, if I may say so. But it is. And then you have brigadiers. I have 5 brigadiers under me, and then 1 colonel. 1 brigadier deals with serious organized crime, another 1 serious commercial, another 1 serious corruption, another 1 priority crime specialized investigation, and then another 1 is corporate support services, and then a colonel who's dealing with priority crime management center. So these people, they are responsible to deal with operations at a unit level where we have colonel